Hello, everybody, to the Crash Channel with another episode of the Dudes Club podcast. I'm your co-host, Ethan, and as usual, I'm joining the wonderful and one and only Brian.
Yeah, the fast and loose one, the one that's just the best.
Brian Loose.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Crash.
yeah. Both in the way I act and my asshole. Now, I like how you started with "Welcome back to the Crash Channel." I just, I don't hear it all that often, and when I say it, I kind of cringe a little bit, just because I'm like, dude, that's right, my my name's Crash.
You are Crash.
I am, but I just think it's funny.
Crash for Smash.
Crash or Smash?
No, Crash for Smash.
Oh. Oh, yeah, but that's.
Crash.
I mean, I'm all about playing the twirly dude, but like crash or smash, like almost murder someone or fuck them. That's a fun game. I mean,
Gotta decide.
Yeah.
Split-second decision making.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
I think that's what all like pedophile and rapists probably went through. They're like, all right, I can either be a serial killer or I'm gonna fuck people, and they kind of flipped a coin, and that's where they went. They're both terrible, but they were like, well, if I'm gonna be terrible, let's see which terrible I'm gonna be.
Really starting this episode off strong, huh?
Yes, yes, that fast and loose.
Fast and loose. That's
Fast
how
and
we
loose.
operate. There's no other way we can have it. if we
Yeah.
if we get slow
Yeah.
and tight, it all falls apart.
Oh my gosh, slow and tight. What are we? Two old men?
I mean, oh, I'm feeling like an old man.
Why?
I really am.
What happened?
A few reasons.
Okay.
The first is obviously we're both seniors in high school.
What are you talking about, Ethan? I'm 27.
My apology. You're grooming me for the past 2 years.
Well, I do like my kids clean.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Ask R. Kelly. Continue.
Yeah, it's just like, because now we're seniors, and so it's like at like any sports practice or track or whatever, I'm just like one of the few seniors, and you just kind of tower over everyone, and
Well-
it's just awkward to talk to people. You
Ethan,
don't
it probably
really know.
it probably doesn't help that you're like 7'4".
It really does not help.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
built like a green bean too, so it's just
Yeah.
like everything looks exaggerated, all my proportions.
And I'm just this fucking little tomato bitch. Literally, like, I'm still looking up at freshmen, like, guys, respect your elders, and they'll kick me.
They kick you
And then
around.
they walk
Make
into
you
the bathroom,
dodgeball.
and as they open the door, I see a puff of smoke just roll out. It's strawberry flavor.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful
How?
flavor.
Quick
I'm-
question. Oh, right.
Okay.
Obviously, no. Continue with your reasons why you're old. I'll get to what I was saying in a minute.
Then at my youth group, I'm like one of 4 seniors. And even then, like, we're not always there. It's me, 2 other guys, and then 1 girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then, like, I'm friends with them, but not, like, incredibly close to the point that we're, like, hanging out the entire time, you know?
Right. Not nearly as close as you are with Jesus.
Exactly.
Right.
So then I'm just, like, hanging out with, like, juniors and sophomores and occasional freshmen, and then you're just kind of like a father figure to these kids.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I am with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like a father figure.
You are my dad.
Yeah. I did birth you right out of my penile canal.
Right out of your scrotum.
You have any more
Just
reasons why you're
tore
old,
open.
son?
Yeah, and then obviously what
Obvious.
happened a few days ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll do it.
Being called an old guy by someone is just like, I feel the wrinkles and the crevices of the wrinkles deepen.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Ethan works at a grocery store where I think it's like a Whole Foods or whatever, and this old elderly woman came up to him and said "I like a fine piece of that, old boy." And when Ethan turned around, she was confused because this 7-year-old that was in front of her just turned into a magical 17-year-old. So he was a little disappointed because he wanted some of that old pussy, but now he's gone. What we call a saber tooth.
And then she disappeared into a cloud of smoke.
She was so surprised he had a heart attack and became dust. Oh my god.
She disintegrated.
And then we swept it up and put it in the Whole Foods.
Exactly.
We
Into
made
the
it
Whole Food. The one and only Whole Food.
They never ask how whole it is.
I cannot imagine working in a grocery store. That would be awful.
I hear it's pretty good. Depends on what kind of job you have there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like you could just kind of like hide away every now and again. I knew a guy that worked at Lowe's, and he would just like climb into the rafters.
Was he really good at limbo? Never mind. Continue.
I don't know. He said like he would just send videos to our group chat of him just like throwing water bottles down like 3 stories at his coworkers and making monkey noises.
I think peak comedy.
It really is, dude.
Monkey noises.
Dude, oh my goodness, I can make fantastic ape noises, and it's just like a wonderful gift I have been given.
Good to know. Now, I would say to present it on the podcast, and you know what? Yeah. Present it.
All right. I mean, it's a little late, and to do it properly, I'd have to do it really loudly. That's right. And,
yeah, we record these podcasts at like 10 o'clock at night, just because that's when our schedules meet up pretty well. So we just.
It's like the only time our schedules meet up.
Yeah. We're doing this Wednesday. We're like, all right.
At 9 p.m. Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
Luckily for me, and I don't really work this late, so I used to, but I don't anymore. That's just how it would be.
Awful.
Working?
Yeah, working that late, that is.
I used to work until like 10:30.
Oof. Yikes.
Yeah. I'd often leave earlier than that, but there were also days where I'd leave at like 11 on a school night, and I'd be like, God damn it.
Oh, you know what? No, I've done that too with not with Kilby's, my ice cream job, but with Parks and Recs. Sometimes they just have they'd rent out like the indoor arena, and I'd just be there until like 11:45, and so then I'd get home at like midnight on a school night, and it's like great. And that was before online classes, so it wasn't even like I could sleep in until like 7:40 or anything like that. Like I'd have to be up at like 6:30.
Right. I'm so happy that I'm not doing online. I'm so happy that I'm not doing schooling. I really enjoy online schooling. It's so much better. Probably because I'm a senior and I have no motivation anyways.
Right.
So it's whatever. It doesn't really faze me.
Yeah, some classes I'm just coasting through because I have to. There are very few that I'm actively trying in.
Speaking of classes, I did want to update you and the viewers, for those who are curious. I'm still writing this argumentative speech on King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, yeah?
And I realized how much of an uphill battle this might be.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
It is very worth it. If I remember correctly, hold on, let me pull up my stats. Godzilla is quite the big boy.
Yeah. He's a big fella.
Especially compared to King Kong. If you give me one moment, I'm gonna pull up my document that I have all the like my notes for, and I'm gonna
spreadsheet.
No, I really do. I really have like stuff written down for this. So, okay. Let me explain some stuff first. In this new movie, King Kong is at the whopping height of 337 feet.
Okay.
Right? Godzilla is at 393.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he's already like 20 feet shorter.
Right. It's about 50 feet shorter.
I'm tired. I did not do any math in my head.
It's all right.
That was the first number that came to me, and I was like, that's what we're going with.
So, In 1937, King Kong's height was, I think, only like 100 feet tall, and he weighed about 158 tons.
Oh.
He's a pretty big boy, right?
Right.
So triple that now. He's about 512 tons. Right?
Okay.
It's probably going to be more than that. I haven't found quite the conversion for that like height to weight difference. And I think once I find that, these numbers won't be nearly as different. Okay. And I think it's also important to note that King Kong is based on a mountain gorilla, which is about 400 pounds. Stands a good 5 feet.
Wait, 5 feet? Hold on. They stand at 5 feet?
4 to 6 feet, so I just shot in the middle.
Okay. I was about to say I'm taller than a gorilla.
Well, also, never mind. You're right. I'm sure that those are larger, but the information that I got says that they're 4 to 6 feet.
Okay.
Now, Godzilla. His animal is a marine iguana. Okay.
Tell me about those.
Marine iguanas, first off, are only 1 to 3.3 pounds.
Uh-oh.
Okay? And they only are 4 to 5 feet long. That's from their tip of their tail to their head. Okay? Mm-hmm. And when I read this fact, I read the fact that their natural predators are crabs. I was like, all right, we got this in the bag then.
Crabs.
Then, after doing just a little bit more research into the canon weight for Godzilla, how many tons do you think Godzilla weighs?
He's easily like 300, 500.
Really? Easy?
Oh, yeah.
Try 99,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a couple more.
He's 99,000 tons. And Kong right now in my calculation is 512.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Now.
So Godzilla could just sit on Kong, basically.
Perhaps. See, I think I think my weights are a little wrong. If it's not wrong, fuck. If it is wrong, I hope it's not less. The worst case scenario is that it's less. Now, I think one thing that Kong has over Godzilla is two things.
Okay. Lay him on me.
Not strength.
Oh.
Because normally gorillas can lift 10 times their weight, even more.
Oh.
Right?
They're strong lads, yeah.
Right. So he would be able to carry about 5,000 tons, easy.
Right.
He could probably carry more than that, plus he's pretty big, so he's probably more than that.
Yeah, but just not 9,000.
He would need to be able to get about, I think, 200 times as stronger. Or if he can weigh 10 times his weight, you'd have to multiply that by 20. And then he'd be able to lift up Godzilla.
Oh no.
Right? So it's definitely not pure power, I can tell you that. I think there's
all this. You're just an uphill battle from the start. And you went in knowing that, but I don't think you knew how
I didn't
big
realize
of a hill this was going to be.
How hard this was going to be. So first off, the old, I think it was 1964 movie, they fought and they tied. However, the creator, Toho Kingdom, said that King Kong won. So he already has one win under his belt.
Oh.
Right, so the least he can do is tie.
Official judges, too.
Right? So he has that. First off, he's pretty fast. I mean, I think King Kong is definitely... He's going to be a fast lad. He's a hell of a lot faster than Godzilla. I mean, Godzilla weight is 99,000 tons, which means he's going to be moving very slowly.
In every movie, Godzilla's just kind of like plodding along. You know, he's not like dead sprinting or anything.
His power comes from his projectiles, not from him walking.
Yeah, he doesn't like really punch anything. He just kind of like bites or like just screams at him really loudly.
Now, if my King Kong weight is correct, and he's 512 tons, dude, he's going to be moving so much faster. Right?
This is true. This is true.
Plus, if he's in, like, a city landscape, he's going to be able to, like, just climb on walls and buildings easy.
Oh, that's true. He's going to be, like, jumping off walls. And
Exactly. It's a concrete
slam
jungle.
Jamming. Hey, you're onto something here. You're onto something.
Right? And in addition, I think this is very important. He has a stick.
Oh, big stick.
And as we've seen from the trailer, obviously this stick has power to just rip through, I don't know, just fucking, just radiation blasts that Godzilla shoots out. So this is definitely like a pretty strong tree that he's got here.
Dude, that's just Mother Nature provides.
And I know we said that we were going to go watch that movie, and I still think we should.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have to wait until after my presentation before we can watch it. You want to know why? Because I don't need any bias.
That's true.
I need to be able to go into this movie thinking King Kong's going to win for all these reasons after I've made this presentation. And then either be so happy that he won or realize that, I mean, he was about 200 times smaller. It wasn't going to work.
It was not. It was doomed from the start. Yeah, that's a good point. We'll just have to, like, how long after it comes out is your presentation?
My presentation is the 7th. Comes out on the 26th. So, like, 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks after?
11 days.
Oh, 11 days.
11 or 12.
Yeah, it might still be in the theater by then.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Plus, there's some workarounds that we can do. I know a few techniques. If you were to come over, we could still watch it just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally legally watching movies.
Well, my uncle's King Kong, so I actually just get to watch it firsthand,
right.
and I'll just have him videotape it. So
Dude,
his fight, not the movie.
Yeah,
the
my
fight.
friend's cousin's grandmother's, twice removed husband. His grandson is actually Godzilla. So
He works for Nintendo. Wow.
yeah, Godzilla works for Nintendo. And he told me about Super Mario 65.
Dude,
It's coming out for the Switch soon. So
I can't wait to play as Waluigi. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just hate saying that and then saying Waluigi hit me with a fucking flashback. You want to know why?
Why?
So, I played a bunch of Mario 64 for the DS.
I've never played it.
Really? Okay, so it's the exact same game as Mario 64 on the N64. However, there are a few additions to the game.
Right. New playable characters. Wario
Right.
and Waluigi and Luigi.
Not Waluigi.
No?
You get to play as first Yoshi,
Oh?
then Mario, then Luigi, and then Wario. You have to unlock them in that order. So you start the game as Yoshi.
That's very strange.
It is, but I think it was an interesting take on it. The normal base game only has 120 stars. This DS version has 150 stars.
Oh.
Right?
Makes you work for it.
Hmm?
It makes you work for it.
It does make you work for it. It adds, like, a few more stages, just so that, like, the stages where you unlock the three characters, right? So there's that. And there's apparently a bunch of other stars that I don't even remember where they are. Oh, actually, no, I do. They added stuff outside of the castle, and they did some other stuff, I think, within the castle. There's just, like, added some small stuff, if I remember correctly. I haven't played the game in years now.
Yeah, you're going to be tested on this, so you better remember correctly.
Oh, God, Mario 64 AP test? Fuck.
That might be a thing, honestly.
I wouldn't be surprised. You gonna do a video on that? If I find it.
Do a video of me taking it.
Yeah.
That would be awful, because I've never
Oh, I think that'd be a great idea.
That would be terrible, because I've never played it.
And then as someone who's like a Nintendo nerd, a nerdtendo, someone who's played Mario games, I'd be able to I think I'd be able to answer them pretty well. Maybe get like a 3 or a 4 on the test. I wouldn't know everything, but I know a lot about the games.
Yeah, I'm not finding one. I don't know if there is one. I know there's a Minecraft AP test.
I do know that, and I wouldn't be able to pass that.
I think I could pass that one.
Oh, back to what I was saying about Mario 64.
Oh,
I got off track. So the reason why Luigi really like sent me almost into shock because I was like, I swore that I could play as Waluigi in that game. I swore it.
You just lied to yourself about it?
No, I saw like 3 or 4 YouTube videos as a young child that said Waluigi's in the game, and I was like, they must be right. They're a credible source.
The internet would never lie to me.
Every time I think of myself as a child, I think of like that one like Chad meme where it's like, yes.
Yes. This is truthful.
No, Waluigi isn't in this game. And then just that Chad, yes. Waluigi goes, wah. And that's what I was thinking. And I swore on everything that you could play as Waluigi, and I just couldn't get it because I had 147 stars. I never 100.
3 short.
It was 3 short. I don't even know what stars I was missing, and still to this day, I don't know what stars I'm missing. I want to replay that game simply so I can 100% it, so I can be like, all right, I did it. We're good. It's one of those few games that I've played, and I've never 100% it, and I swear one day I will have to go back to it.
Yeah, I got a few games like that on my list.
Yeah, Honey Pop.
But I honestly, what was that?
Nothing.
No, you said like honey something?
No, I didn't say anything. Continue.
You lie like a dog.
Rough. Now, please.
Yeah, so I got some games that like that on my list. Mainly like Dark Souls 3 and like Sekiro, but even games like Resident Evil 2 Remake.
What have you not done in Dark Souls 3 all the way through? Like, do you mean like
I've never just like tried to get all the achievements.
Oh, I mean that's
I've
that's
played
fair.
through the game like 8
You beat every
times.
boss?
Oh yeah, of course.
DLC bosses too?
Yes.
Oh, then you're fine.
Yeah, but I've just never gone after all the achievements.
I think the hardest thing to do is getting all the spells, but that's like normally the hardest thing to do in those games, just because it's like so time consuming.
Except for Dark Souls 1. I can't remember if it was sorceries or miracles, but I was just like at the very end of the game on the first run through, and I was just like, I'm just gonna buy out all the merchants' stocks before I do this. And then I just got the miracle achievement, I think. I don't think it was sorcery. I think sorcery is like a lot more involved.
Dark Souls 1.
And then I realized like how easy it was, and then from that moment I was like, yeah, I'm gonna 100% this game. And then I just did like 3 more run-throughs of the game with the same character to do it.
Dark Souls 1 is definitely the pain in the ass one, though, because you have to get every single special item and then upgrade everything in every path. So,
yeah, because with other games, it's like you have to play through New Game Plus just to get like endings and stuff like that.
Yeah, or
So
it's
you can
like
just,
get the
burn
max
through
level weapon.
Yeah, but with Dark Souls 1, it's like, no, you have to get all the boss weapons, so you're gonna have to play through the game 2.5 times. And, you wanna upgrade all these items? Well, there's only one upgrade material, so if you wanna do it twice, you're gonna have to play through the game again.
It's a real pain, too, because there was other items that, like, you couldn't get just from bosses. You had to grind them out. Like, I think you needed, all the Black Knight items.
Mm.
And then I think you also needed the Silver Knight's, like, sword. And
there's some weird items. There's some that like would only spawn if you were in a like human form, and it was your first time in an area. So like, it was very tense when like an AI invader would spawn, and it's like you have this one chance to kill it.
Yeah.
Or you do not get the items.
Just be lucky. That's what I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've only completed those games on my PS4. I actually haven't done it on Steam, and I think one day I eventually will. But that day's not going to be now. I'm still busy with the Lego games. And for those at home, Ethan already knows. I tell him before the podcasts.
It keeps me updated.
I do. I have completed a few more games. I complete about one a week now. Right. Lego Clone Wars is done. Lego Harry Potter is now done. And now I'm
Both of
working on
them?
finishing up Lego DC Supervillains.
You got both the Harry Potter ones done?
No, I just have the first one.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably gonna tackle the second one next. I just knew that I already beat Lego DC Supervillains, like the game. I just needed to complete it, and I was like, I'm closer to doing this.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. But
I'm,
Lego Harry Potter's probably next.
I'm running through Skyrim actually in Steam. I've already gotten all the achievements on Xbox.
I
but
do
I'm
see
running
you speeding
through,
through it. I do see you speeding through it.
Yeah, it's taking longer than I expected. That's because I just like misremembered how I did it the first time on Xbox. I think I'm like 55, close to 60 hours in, and I'm like halfway through. But I think at this point it's gonna speed up really fast because it's like I'm not like reliant on what my level is or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just gonna
fair.
be, like I just gotta sit down and just grind it out.
I promise one day I will play Skyrim fully through. I just can't get into it right now for some reason.
No, I get it. Some people can't really get into games like that, which
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, oh, that's a shame, but other times it's like, well, you can't really like force someone to enjoy a game like that.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, even my dad he'll play like Red Dead 2 and stuff like that, but he's like, I could never touch an open world game like Skyrim because it would just he'd just too much to do, really.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of open world games, as a PlayStation user myself, I get random PlayStation Plus games every month.
Right.
This
Yeah,
month's
Xbox has something like that.
right. This month's game, like, there's like 4 games this month, and I think next month is like this really big because next month a game called Horizon Zero Dawn
Yeah.
is coming out. I've already 100% the game. I've already platinumed it and got everything for it, but I want to play it again. Like, it actually got me excited to play it again because I don't own the game anymore. I had it on disc, and one of my old traditions was to simply get rid of a game when I was done. Trade it into GameStop and have enough credit to buy another game, or use that credit to buy another game. It's kind of what my dad forced me to do, so I just kind of
okay. Yeah,
kinda
I can
did
never
it.
Do that. I kind of like having a collection of physical copies.
I like the thought of it, but
Something
a
about
person.
just like filling out a shelf or like a cabinet.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I definitely like the idea of it. I just know that I don't have, I don't want to have to deal with that myself. And digitally, I like dealing with games being set up. And with Steam, it's so hard to have just a physical copy of everything, anyways.
Yeah, on a PC, I would never do physical copies.
Right. So, I'm fine with digital. I think digital's fine, but I get where you're coming from. But I just never got to replay this game again, and I never had the DLC. So this game comes with the DLC, and I'm just excited about it.
Right.
So there's that. Also, apparently, they're just gonna be bringing out more and more games, because I think it's fair to say that the PS4 is on its death.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
It's
That's
definitely-
crazy. Did you hear about that? How they're just shutting down the PS3 and Vita stores, just
No.
entirely.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
That's
they're closing down both the stores by June and August.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
That's-
right around the corner.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I get the 360 and PS3. They're kind of old, but at the same
Right.
time,
PS3
they're not
came out in
really-
2007, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
then
think
it-
the Xbox came out 2005, 2006.
Yeah, the Xbox came out. I think it was either a year before or a year after PS5 or PS3, not
It was
PS5.
before. It was definitely before.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm switching to PC anyways. Overall,
Right.
not that I don't like playing on my PS4. I just don't really have a reason for it anymore. There's a lot of games on there that I don't have. I
Mm-hmm.
can't play Neo on my PS4, by my PC right now, because I don't have the money to play it. But I really wanted to replay Neo again, so I hooked my PS4 to my monitor up, and I'm just playing it, and that's about it. But there's a lot of games where I'd rather just buy it on PC and not have to save the hassle of switching it.
Right.
Literally, all I have to do is unplug my PC HDMI, plug in the PS4 HDMI, and turn the PS4 on. And yet, I still don't want to do that. But there's a lot of memories with this bad boy. A lot of memories. The hole in my wall.
Oh.
That's thanks to Dark Souls 2 on this bad boy.
The one and only.
Yeah, there's only one hole in the wall, and it was an accident.
Well, I don't think anyone intentionally punches holes in walls.
You'd be wrong.
In the moment of passion.
No, there's like a whole like subgenre of gamers that get so angry that punch holes in their wall.
Well, I know that's a thing, but it's just like
I did not punch a hole in the wall intentionally. I didn't punch with like a fist forward. I punched on it like I was like how do I explain this? Like as if you were like banging on a door.
Right.
Right, like you kind of do with a side fist. You're not trying to break anything. Like I'm just like, damn it. Hits the wall a little bit. And then I did it too many times and it right through the wall and I was like, oh my god. And that was that. It was Dark Souls 2 that did it. It was
honest.
I probably already told this story.
Could.
It was recording Dark Souls 2.
Mm-hmm.
There was not enough file on my PS4 to save that recording, so it deleted the recording.
Oh.
Which means I had to replay Dark Souls. It was Sin, the dragon boss. I remember.
Oh,
and I had
like the worst boss.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst because it's just a sponge. It just keeps taking damage, and
I had to put it on New Game Plus.
Oh my god!
Because I had to put a bonfire aesthetic on, or whatever it's called, to fight it so that I could show it to everybody in my playthrough. Right. And that's one of the few reasons why, if I was to replay the Dark Souls series for the channel, I would do it in a heartbeat. Because frankly, like I have every ability to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of like what the people want, and I know the people don't want me to play that game again. But I feel like I kind of did them wrong. Like, you can't hear me in my Bloodborne playthrough. You can't. I'm so quiet. I would like to replay the game to then be like, oh, okay, I've done Bloodborne a little bit better. Or, the other games where it's just like, oh, I sound terrible. Or, oh, I suck ass. Oh, I died to Deacons of the Deep.
I still can't believe that. The easiest boss in Dark Souls 3 and you died.
You're wrong. The easiest boss in Dark Souls 3.
Just because you just like could not understand the concept of how it worked.
What do you mean?
Isn't that how you died? Like you just like rushed into the center of them and just got clapped.
No, it was. I'm pretty sure it was the curse because I couldn't kill them fast enough.
I don't think I don't think they give curse.
They do. So what happens is once the priest comes out, the big boy, over time, I don't know if you know this, when they're shooting black balls into the air,
mm-hmm.
Once there's enough up there, it curses the entire boss room, or petrifies the entire boss room or something.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's what killed me. It's been 4 years, but I'm pretty sure that's what killed me.
So you literally just took so long.
Yeah, I just wasn't
beat the easiest boss that the developers put in something that's just like, all right.
Well, it's obviously like a damage gate. Oh, I wasn't doing enough damage. That was it. Like I simply was not doing enough damage. And with the guys healing the priest, the blue guys healing the priest, and them just healing each other and taking so much damage in comparison to the normal enemies, I was just not doing well. I don't know in the situation how I did that, because I can definitely beat them now within 3 seconds and be fine. I don't know 4 years ago how that happened.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would get to the Deacons of the Deep doing that little damage in the first place.
Running. That
So
would be my guess.
You just ran past all the enemies?
I must have. I really don't know. I have no idea.
Come on, man.
You've
Better
seen
than this.
You've seen my Dead Space playthrough.
That's true. Oh my goodness.
We were talking
pains
before
me.
the podcast, and he has some very select words about my not Dark Souls, my Dead Space 2 playthrough so far.
It's just as a fella that deeply loves, yes, the dark oh man,
Dead Space.
I said Dark Souls and then Demon Souls. I don't even know how I did
Never
that.
played Demon Souls.
Neither have I.
I've been meaning to.
But yeah, as a guy that loves Dead Space, and in fact is the reason that you're playing them now.
Yes, correct.
Because I kept ranting about them.
Yes.
And it's like, it just pains me to see the things you do. Just like all the boxes you miss of like ammo and health in 0G sections. It's not even like you just like, don't look at them or anything. Like you will just mere feet away, like a half foot away from you, and you will just fly right past them. They have white glowing lights on them, so you can still see them in dark areas,
Ethan.
and you still just go right past.
Can I confess something to you?
Yeah.
I see all of them. I just don't care enough to get them. I don't have the energy to walk a few feet and grab them.
You have kinesis. You don't even have to walk towards them. You can just pull them towards you.
My 130 ammo and my plasma gun is enough for me.
Yeah,
okay?
and then you have and then you don't even reload it though when you go into combat. You turn a corner. There's 3 enemies. You have 2 shots in that bad boy.
Ethan, that's all I
And
need.
then you just die.
I haven't died that much. Maybe like a number above 20, but still.
That is a lot.
Listen. I told you earlier today, I told you at the beginning of the podcast, I play fast and loose. Whenever I play a new game, that's how I play.
I don't know. I'm a very slow and methodical player, you know.
I make myself run and I make myself gun, and that's it. I shoot first, ask questions later, and then I just forget to stomp on the enemies for their items afterwards.
Shoot first to justify later.
Yeah.
That's how I live.
I'm like a police officer.
Oh, that's a bit too topical.
It's whatever. That's whatever.
Not really.
Speaking of topical things, you know about this you know who David Dobrik is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been keeping up with this whole controversy thing that he's been behind?
Not. I've only heard that it has happened.
Would you like to hear about it?
I would love to, actually. Yeah.
I'm oddly informed on this because for some reason I watch just about every podcast that this guy's getting talked about. So I'm here. So
okay.
David Dobrik, a few years ago. Okay, first controversy is. I mean, I don't know. Have you seen any of his videos?
I just know the general meme of them. It's like,
right.
I'm giving my friend a brand new 6-story penthouse.
Right. Well, he's kind of a bully.
Yeah.
I used to really like David Dobrik's content, and then he stopped posting, and that was kind of it. But when I looked back at his content, you kind of see that he just kind of takes the worst quality of someone and then just makes fun of them for it. That's kind of all he does. But you don't really realize it because you kind of think it's like everyone's in on it in like a skit. Mm-hmm. And so for years, he just kind of got away with it. But then recently, there's people that have been coming out with like, oh, that's not the case. Well, they're not consenting to it. They feel bullied. And one man sticks out.
Right. Okay.
His name is Seth. Okay.
Oh.
He is really the only black African-American dude that was in these vlogs. Right.
Mm-hmm.
He comes from Compton, which is an important thing to note. Well,
all right.
David Dobrik has this great friend who has in the vlogs. David Dobrik's 23. His friend, his name's Jason Nash. He's 47.
Oh, I know. Yeah, because they
right.
used to do Vine or whatever.
Right. So.
That's the most cursed thing, also.
What?
all the old Viners just
Yeah.
kind of like slowly transition to YouTube and stuff like that. But
It's gonna happen.
They never really like made new content. They just kept going with the same stuff.
Well, there's a lot of TikTokers that did just do that, but there's a lot that actually got better, like Drew Gooden or like I don't remember the other guy's name, but like Drew Gooden, the guy he's famous for his joke where it's like, "Oh, road don't work." Or road work ahead. I sure hope it does.
With some of those guys, because they like shift it entirely, and then they're like, all right, a little bit of commentary, a little bit of jokes, rather than just like.
Right, but their content's gotten much better. In comparison, David Dobrik started doing vlogs instead of making his little jokes. Well, it's important to note that his friend is like one of his best friends is 47 years old. He's an old man. He's a 2 kids. He's divorced, right? That's kind of his whole legacy.
Right.
All right. Well, one day, David Dobrik asked Seth, who just got off of a flight, to come over to his house to play this little prank thing, right? So basically, one of the hot girls in the vlog, there's no point in naming her, would get dressed up in this old man outfit and put an old man mask on and kiss Seth.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And he consents. It's important to note that Seth consented to kissing this girl.
All right.
Okay? Well, what happened was when he got there, this girl went back to change, ended up changing into normal clothes, and giving the suit to this 47-year-old man.
Oh.
And the next thing that happened was this 47-year-old man and this Seth ended up making out. This was all like 3 years ago. So basically, he was sexually assaulted right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, what goes from there is like Seth is kind of blown away, and for years he has trauma from it. He ends up moving out of California. I think he moves to Atlanta because of so much embarrassment he gets from that. And because it's a homosexual act and he comes from Compton, he gets a lot of shit for it. But it was very traumatic. These motherfuckers pull it again.
Again?
Without consent. Again.
How do you pull it again?
Basically, the whole idea was that, David Dobrik, first thing he did, it was like a few months before it happens, he said, listen, I'm going to try to do the kissing prank on you again. In the video, Seth never gives consent. He says, how am I going to consent to something that you aren't even telling me what's happening? David Dobrik cuts it right there, but in reality, Seth is saying, like, no, I don't want it. Says that, how am I going to consent to something? And David Dobrik only cut it into that little bit. Right?
Right.
And a few years later, Seth gets this email saying, oh, for $25,000, you can appear in our Slim Jim ad. Or like beef jerky ad or something. Well, bada bing, bada boom. David Dobrik sets up this like whole fake company, whole fake everything. And it happens. He kisses Jason again.
What?
He got his ass again.
What? He
Right?
pulled the switcheroo twice? He
Twice.
set up a fake company?
Twice.
To pull the switcheroo twice?
Yes. And the worst part was he wasn't even going to pay Seth the $25,000.
He didn't even pay him?
Seth had to force him to do it.
What?
Yeah. And, remember that this is a traumatic experience. And it was like a year later after that, Seth ended up texting David Dobrik and asking, like, oh, can we do it again? It will be good. I just need that clout. And, it's just like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is like almost Stockholm Syndrome, where it's like, oh, he wants this person's
approval.
Yeah.
Like he
admiration.
doesn't really want to do it, but he just kind of needs like to.
He needs that
involved.
dollar. He needs to
money.
kiss a 47-year-old man again. Right? Well, no, this is not the only hot water that David Dobrik's been in. And you would think, oh, he would apologize if even after that Seth's big, like he came out and said, oh, I have this big issue. It's been about like 2 months. He hasn't said anything. except sent out one of his lackeys to just shut him down. Right?
That's
Crazy shit.
that is so wild. That's sort of like Carson. Call me Carson. Dude just fell off the internet after everything spilled.
I feel like
He has not responded to anything. Like, I've not heard a peep, like, from himself.
I actually want to come back to this Carson thing because, actually, I'll say it right now. It was 19 and 17, right? I think it's important to note the relationship itself between these two people would not have been bad. The only issue was that he sent nudes to a minor, right? And that's understandably reprehensible.
A lot of it, like, yeah, already it's like, all right, if you're like actually smart about it in the relationship, it's as long as you're doing nothing sexual, then it's kind of like, at least you can make an argument at that point.
Well, yeah,
but it's clear, like, he's like very, like, in the screenshots, he's being like very sexual and like very
right.
I wouldn't even say aggressive, but just like repeatedly brings it up and stuff like that, and it's like it's clearly like a power dynamic thing too. Which obviously I think like YouTubers dating fans in the first place is kind of a bad idea. Obviously, there's exceptions like PewDiePie. He literally married Marcia, who was a fan that watched his content.
I want to say something about that real quick, but I wanted to say this first. I think context in this situation matters a lot. I think if it was another, like if he wasn't so aggressive, I don't think people would have had such an issue with it. I think there would have been people like, oh, you're still underage, and there's still this power dynamic. But I feel like he would have been more in the clear.
Yeah, if it wasn't so aggressively sexual.
But I think with this power dynamic, it kind of brings up the point of like, so many people brag about their job. So many people want celebrities, right? The idea that, like, oh, I can't brag about my job kind of goes against everything with dating, because it's like, oh, I make a lot of money. Oh, my job is this. That's like, I'm not saying in this case that power dynamic does not exist.
Well, I understand that power. I understand what you're saying. It's like, but it's I think it's the type of career they hold. Like, if you're dating like an accountant, like he's an accountant, yeah, he makes a lot of money, or she, and it's like, yeah, they clearly have like a lot of financial sway.
Well,
but they're not gonna be able to like have several million people like blindly follow what they say,
Well, here's I think when it comes to power dynamics, it's really about like keeping someone down for your personal gain. Being able to control that's really what a power dynamic is. We can throw around the word power dynamic, but just because someone's is famous doesn't mean that they aren't allowed to date people that are not famous.
No, I absolutely agree with that.
Right. And I think in this case, I didn't read any of the texts, DMs. It's been been a few months.
I've seen a few of them. It is very like.
Did he make it seem like, oh, I'll bring you up if you go out on a date with me, I'll bring you up? Like, was he pulling a Harvey Weinstein?
It's very uncomfortable to read it.
Okay, that's fair.
There are multiple times where he's just like, I can only like get sexual pleasure from masturbating when thinking of you and stuff like that. It's like very uncomfortable, and it's like he's talking about like flying her out to like PAX and stuff like that, and like paying for her tickets. So it's like like he's I don't know. It's just it's just not. If you actually read the screenshots and you just like see it, it's like, yikes.
Okay. Yeah, I think Call Me Carson's kind of a close and shut case. I want to get back to David Dobrik, because you want to know why? This kissing prank that he did twice, sexual assault twice with an old man, it's not even the end of his saga.
Is there a third?
There's not a third, but there's a different situation.
Is it still Seth?
Not Seth. Seth left.
Oh, okay.
Seth is gone. Seth is no
That's a
longer
lot of
being
years.
affected. He's, other than the fact that he's never gotten an apology directly from David, public or even privately, nothing. Right. Well, there's a few other people that have been like attacked verbally and mentally and stuff. There was this guy in the vlog squad called Big Nick. He is a short person. He has dwarfism.
Right.
He felt bullied. That's kind of like all the jokes would be about. There's that.
That's pretty scummy.
Do you know? Do you happen to know of a woman named Trisha Paytas,
Yep.
famous for her 100 layers of cum challenge?
Yep.
Yeah, for some reason people forget that happened. Well, basically, she was dating Jason.
Right.
They broke
I
up.
remember that.
Right? They broke up, and everyone thought that Trisha is crazy. I still think Trisha is crazy, not for any reason other than I just don't really like her personality, yet I love the podcast she co-hosts. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Well, she's all crazy, and she is constantly, like, David Dobrik constantly belittled her, put her basically in a mental hospital, and how it ended up happening was about 2 years ago, she got high on meth and crashed her car into Jason's home.
What? What?
Yeah, I know, right?
What?
Right? Crazy.
It's wild.
That's not even the end of the story, my friend. There's still more.
What?
So, it was about 3-4 years ago. They were having this party. One of the people in the vlog squad, his name is Dirty Dom. His name is Dirty Dom because his persona that he plays in these vlogs is basically a creep. Right?
Great.
Like a sexual creep.
That's, gee.
Right.
Out of every like character you could play, why that?
You'll see why in a moment, I suppose. And I think it's important to note that him and David have been childhood friends.
Okay.
All right, I think that's important to note. Well, so I think it was 2017 or 2018. I don't know the exact year. I'm not 100% sure on the years. However, I can give you the actions very easily. What happened was he put on his Instagram story or Snapchat story, I want to have a fivesome. Come over. So just fans.
What?
And as you would have assumed, people came over.
Just an open invitation?
Yeah. And about 5 people came over.
Did it actually happen?
We'll get to that.
Oh my goodness.
So what happened?
It's just one rabbit hole that just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
Dog, I've been following this story for like a month and a half now.
It is uncomfortable how much you know about this.
Dude, I've been watching podcast after podcast every week about this goddamn situation because that's all this podcast has been talking about. So I know a lot about it. And now I'm like hooked. Now I'm hooked.
You're stuck in it at this point. To give up would just be sacrilegious.
So 5 girls come over. It's important to note that they are about 20 and 21 year old.
Okay.
Right? Some are legal drinking age, some are not legal drinking age.
Okay.
Okay? So they're none of them are young. They're not younger than 18. I think it's important to note that it's not statutory rape.
Right, they're all legal. Okay.
Right? Not statutory. But however,
Oh no.
they didn't really want to have sex. They just wanted to come over to like film stuff because, like, oh, well, we'd probably be meeting David Dobrik, so let's go over. So, and even in the David Dobrik video that's I'm pretty sure has been deleted, David Dobrik's like, oh, after a little bit of persuasion and lightening up, they finally went for it.
Oh.
You want to know what that means?
They've went for the fivesome.
Someone went and bought alcohol and got them drunk.
Oh man.
So now there's a big controversy is who got them alcohol. Was there alcohol in the thing already, or was there someone going to buy alcohol? Well,
Man.
well,
I think you're about to tell me.
it now this isn't confirmed. None of this is. A lot of this stuff is not 100% confirmed. However, from witness stuff, that a lot of this stuff has been confirmed. There's some of it that's not fully confirmed, and I have to say this now because not all of this might be correct. But from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, it seems like these two people went and got alcohol. There's two of them. Probably not necessarily just for the girls, and they probably might not have known that they were under 21. Right? They probably weren't that. They probably didn't play so much of a big deal other than the fact they got alcohol. Well, one of them ends up coming out with a 20-minute video, which I watched, of course.
Yeah, because you were an involved participant at this point.
Dude, I'm so in it. I'm so in it for no reason. So he releases this video kind of shitting on everybody. Not in his own group, but everyone that around him. So basically, Trisha Paytas was a witness, only for the half of it. She didn't see what happened later that night, which I'll tell you what happened later that night in a bit.
Oh, you're going to tell me what happens later that night.
You could probably already guess, but it gets a little worse than that.
Yeah, I can kind of see the track record, and it's
so
everything's just lining up for a strike right now.
Right. So Trisha Paytas, right, meth car drive-in, right. She was still dating Jason Nash at the time, and they end up leaving halfway through the party, seeing that there was something wrong. However, she does have some things to, as a witness, right? Plus, there was other girls that were able to witness such things that were sober, and it's important to note that these sources say that these two people went and did it, including the person is making a video right now. Well, this person kind of shits on everybody and tries to disprove everybody. There was an article written about this whole experience, this whole ordeal. It was released on Insider. It's like you have to pay for the article. However, there was a whole article about it, and he also shits on the author of that. Then he comes on the podcast I'm watching and kind of backtracks everything and doesn't make any sense. I was kind of rooting for him. I was like, I want you to be somewhat reasonable or like have an argument here because goddamn it, you're about to get shit on. And he got shit on. He got absolutely destroyed. It was very cringy and hard to watch because of how much his argument didn't work.
Just fell apart.
It fell apart. So now it's, assumed allegedly they went and bought the alcohol. Right, they ended up being there. He says that he left, which could be understandable. He lives about a block away, but there was a picture taken from one of the sober witnesses at 1:17 a.m. that he was there.
Right.
They all came over at 11, so he had to be there for either 2 hours or he left and then came back for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Things are lining up.
So he's more of like someone on the sideline. He got stuck into a bad situation, but I think it's important to note that he's backtracking as much as he is and fighting this. Well, after a bit of loosening up and persuasion, because obviously that's what every consenting relationship has, coercion. Dirty Dom is able to bring, I think, 3 girls, maybe 2 or 3 girls into the bedroom.
Yikes.
I'm pretty sure it's been already, confirmed. He raped them.
Yeah,
and
it's not good.
And one of the girls was blackout drunk. You can see in some of the pictures and pictures that were taken that she was blackout drunk. Like, her friends had to pick her up and take her out. Now, how does this involve David Dobrik? You might be asking, but because obviously you are, right?
Yeah.
This all stemmed from him.
How does this involve David Dobrik now, Brian?
It was for a video in his vlog.
Oh. Oh no.
He basically set it up for what it seems for Dom. And in that video, either it was definitely recorded the next day, but it was recorded of a sweaty Dom saying, "Thank you, David," for a threesome.
Oh no.
So
He's self-incriminated too.
David Dobrik endorsed this, basically.
Right.
It was up for years until finally it was taken down. Actually, I think it was up for a year, and then it was taken down because one of the witnesses texted David Dobrik, and I think he took it down immediately. I don't know. I think that's what happened. Either way, that happened. An insider article was written, and here we are today. David Dobrik released a apology video 2 days ago. This is being recorded on March 24th. It was his apology was uploaded on March 22nd. I think that's important to note for some reason.
Right. Yeah, I think I saw something about that, about his apology video and how generic it is and how it kind of fits into that like roster of insincere.
I think his apology is actually pretty good in comparison to a lot of others.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's generic, but it's not that generic. I think he takes some of the stuff. He probably apologizes better than he ever has. But that does not excuse this, because it was a mere week ago that he was trying to. His lawyers were threatening the witnesses, Trisha Paytas, an insider, simply saying that Trisha is not a good witness, so your entire argument doesn't stand. You're biased, and you smell. Basically, that's what the lawyers said. So
you're nitpicking and biased.
Yeah.
Lose, I win. Bye-bye.
That's what they tried. That's literally what they tried. And what happened was, a week later after that, his apology video was released, and he was like, "I'm sorry, guys, I had a change of heart." Basically, that's what the whole video sums up to. Mm-hmm. The real reason he apologized was because he was losing sponsors and subscribers. Yeah. You can kind of tell with this kind of thing, of how quick he came back and apologized. Or, like, he waited a week, and as soon as he started losing sponsors, he uploads this video. Right.
Yeah, it's gonna...
So
he is really a dirty little man, making content out of just, like, buying stuff and giving it away. And,
yeah,
like, they do giveaways all the time. Like,
he really only...
It's clearly predatory on the idea of like, what can I get out of this man, and then he just kind of like lords that over people.
He really only started that when Mr. Beast started it, like giving things away.
Right.
So it like really wasn't even his original idea. Either way, this is all speculation. This is all from what I've been seeing. There is some of that stuff is confirmed. I'd like to just say this now so I don't get absolutely ass blasted with, I don't know, getting sued or something. Some things have been confirmed by witnesses. Some things are still alleged. So I wanted to make sure that you can't really take everything I have to say with a grain of salt. And if you're really interested, you can do your own research. But this is what the information I got from this. Okay, this is both to the viewers and you, Ethan, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, for all I know, you could be a dirty liar.
I could be. Well, that's the story of David Dobrik, and I'm sure there's other things wrong that he's done, but those are the two big things. 4 big things, really.
Wow. That was very wild from start to finish.
Right? Crazy.
Did you, oh. Sorry.
No, continue.
It was a different topic. So.
Oh, was Jeffrey Epstein? I can probably tell you a bit about it.
No, Dan Avidan.
What happened to him?
He's having his own little controversy right now. Yep.
What? I haven't heard anything about this.
I haven't looked into it too deeply, but it was like a handful of years ago or something. Or like he met like a 17-year-old girl, and like started talking to her, and then like immediately after she turned 18, like hooked up with her, and so there's a lot of like grooming allegations.
I'm seeing this now. Daniel responds. Okay, I'm gonna read this out loud because I just looked it up.
All right.
Okay. So now I believe this is a quote from Dan himself. Okay. I stand by the fact that in any interactions that took place of a sexual nature with the person in question were done so when she was 22 years old and we were both consenting adults, Dan said. To claim I engaged in any predatory behavior is simply untrue. I have made mistakes in the past, and I apologize if my actions or words ever made anyone upset, but those mistakes were never ill-intentioned, exploitative, or illegal in any incapacity. I don't know. It feels like... I feel like it's not a bad thing to start with. There's a bad response, but it also feels very like...
It feels very like a lawyer was like involved with it. Like that doesn't sound like something like a normal person just says in an apology, you know?
Yeah. Apparently this is on a Reddit post from Rant Grumps. I don't know what are these guys. Let's look.
I have no clue.
Let's look. Rant Grumps. Rant and vent about Game Grumps.
What a waste of space. I'm sorry. What? Imagine dedicating like your time and space in growing a community just to talk trash about something.
I'm really curious to see how old this thing is, because I have no idea.
That's crazy.
So far,
it
seems about 5 days.
Oh, okay.
It's at least 9 months old.
Oh, the actual subreddit?
It's almost at least a year old.
Uh-oh. I think it's going to be older than a year.
So far, I think it's probably a year and a half is what I'm seeing. Damn. I don't know. All right. How about we do each other a favor?
Okay.
And move on to a different topic that's a little bit more fun and jolly.
This has been a very heavy episode of the podcast.
Well, the best thing about this is that I get to talk about David Dobrik.
Which means... I mean, that might have been enjoyable for you, but I just kind of sat in silence for like 20 minutes straight listening to everything.
Do you know what this means for me, Ethan?
What?
I could put him in the thumbnail and the title.
Oh, you're gonna make big bucks.
Dog, I'm gonna clickbait the shit out of this episode. That's the only reason why I wanted to talk about David Dobrik, because
at least you're honest about it. I mean,
I have personal gain from it.
You know?
I came into this episode knowing I was going to talk about David Dobrik, and I made it happen.
That's... You just, like, slowly guided the conversation towards it.
But that's why I started with rape and sexual assault at the beginning of the episode, Ethan. I was ready to talk about it immediately.
Man, I just thought you were having another moment like last time when you started talking about how you were part of the Aryan race.
I'm not a part of the Aryan... That's not what I said. I said I could have been because of my my appearance. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
In a very roundabout way.
No, incorrect.
You're like, I have all of the features.
No.
That the Third Reich, I don't know which one it was.
It was Third Reich.
Well, maybe they're all dead. All right, they suck.
Listen. What I meant, Ethan, what I said was, and what I meant was, by my appearance. I have no hate in my heart for anybody, okay? I don't have any hate in my heart. It's important to note that. Just simply for my appearance, maybe except for my hair, or probably a little lighter, I fit Hitler's thing. He didn't even fit his own thing.
It's just like, you just can't say it while sounding good. I'm sorry. There's no way to say that. And so, like, I'm not...
Listen,
I understand
when it comes to dictators, Ethan, nothing sounds good. However, I said it because I was thinking about it, and I've always thought about it because I was like, it was weird that one teacher said that thing.
You've always been thinking about Hitler's regime, huh?
Because I'm like, would I have been killed in Nazi Germany? Yes, I have random thoughts of like, hypothetically, if I was alive in Nazi Germany. I don't know. I probably would have been alive. I still probably would be alive right now, which is terrible to say, but that's the truth. That's what happened in the past, and that's what's...
All right, I know. It's just very funny.
But I don't hate the
especially
Jewish
just, like-
community, so I'm not an Aryan race.
Okay,
But
well,
I
you
have
wanna
the
talk about
visual
that very
features
specific
of something he wanted. He
tattoo
he had
of a
one
certain
testicle. He
flag
was
you have
vegan.
on your
Hitler was
shoulder.
vegan.
Do you want to talk? What?
Hitler was vegan.
Let's talk about that very specific
vegetarian,
tattoo
which-
you have on your shoulder that relates to one man.
Look, David Dobrik paid me $50,000 to get it on my arm. He let me kiss a 47-year-old man in an old man mask.
He
Okay.
let you.
I mean, he
it
made
sounds
me
like
do
you
it, and he
cho-
said
oh.
I take the video down if I get the fuck.
It sounds like this was a choice.
You know,
Sounds
R.
like
Kelly
you're-
peed on people.
He did. He peed on children.
Dog, one of my favorite things from R. Kelly's interview is, "I'm fighting for my fucking life, man." I think about that quote daily because of how he said it and how you definitely know in his brain at that moment he was definitely thinking about piss on some kids.
That interview came out like right alongside the Papa John's interview when he started talking about the day of reckoning and stuff like that. That
you
was
see-
another wild one.
Did you see the recent interview with him where he said he's
yeah,
trying to get the N word out of his vocabulary for the past 20 months?
That's how do you what? First of all, how does it get into your vocabulary?
Dog, those
you know?
first... Because he must have just been saying it.
It's just like
like, that must have just been his word for African-American people.
It's just like it's a conscious thing to say like such a vitriolic word like that, you know.
Dude, month one must have sucked for him.
And then but it's like like just stop saying it.
He's been trying for 20 months to get it out of his vocabulary. Month 21 hits, he's shaking.
Dude, that just saying like I've been trying for the past 20 months is not the same as saying it has been 20 months.
Almost 2
He
years.
it means that quote means that he is still regularly and actively using that word, and just cannot stop.
Well,
This
maybe,
man-
I mean, maybe.
20 months after the incident, and he still cannot stop. Because if he did stop, he would have said it's been 20 months.
He's still trying to get out his vocabulary 20 months
Exactly.
later.
Exactly.
Oh my god. It was so funny too. 'Cause
he just
He's
he just constantly looks like he's just caked in pizza grease too.
look, all right. That's because how hard he tries. he's like really clenching his
That's him-
asshole
that's
trying
him
to.
going through withdrawal from not being able to say the word.
20 months later, dog hit. Whew, whew, ugh. Papa John's really onto something.
Dude, he's on something. He is on the garlic sauce right now.
Maybe more than the garlic sauce. Oh my god. It's just so funny.
It really is. It's just like, just stop saying it.
Because
I
he's
don't-
like, he's said so many times in the past that they were lying.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, that's the bet. I remember that. He was like, it's edited. They forced me to say it. They're lying.
Right?
Then he comes out and he's like, I've been daily struggle to stop saying it for 20 months.
I've had 3 goals for the past 20 months. First goal, get that word out of my vocabulary for the past 20 months. Number 2, prove it's wrong. And 3, it just ain't right.
What does that mean? What? What does that mean?
Ethan,
Yes. Yes.
it's been 20 hard months, all right? Just
This man, he is Atlas, carrying the world on his shoulders as he's worked these 20 months.
he gets a little
Trying
sweaty every time
to
he sees
prepare
a
himself.
mozzarella stick.
Or when he goes, just like, he goes to the grocery store and he sees anyone that isn't white. and
He
just
probably doesn't think of
breaks
it as
out
like
into
a
sweat.
racial term. He probably just thinks of it like that's his word
Is that better though?
for that race.
I just like, I think that's just even worse, that it's just ingrained into him. It is etched into him like
Yeah. I
stone.
wonder what his kid's like.
He has kids.
Yeah, he has one kid. I
Do we
think.
know it? Who?
All right, time to do some David Dobrik level research here. Papa John's kid.
Child.
Is his name Son John?
Is it?
No, I don't. I don't
Oh,
think it
okay.
is.
I was about to get really excited about that.
So- At first, I just. So Papa John, I looked up Papa John's kid. The first picture was of Papa John, right next to a white kid and a black kid, and I was like, oh, does he have adoptive son? And then I was like, oh no, that's not right. And then it was like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh, this completely unrelated as you're looking for this guy's name, but that reminded me of how Tom Brady kisses his son on the lips.
Oh my God! If Tom
Dude.
Brady would kiss me like that,
Dude, if I could find someone to if only there was someone in my life to passionately kiss me like Tom Brady does to his son.
oh my God!
No,
In
but seriously,
2000,
have you seen that video?
Ethan, we have a little bit more issue on Papa John.
Oh yeah, okay, we'll round back to
Okay, hold on. Let me just tell you some Papa John facts real quick.
hit me with it.
Okay, so
So,
this is really important. 1987, Shatner was married to Annette Cox. The couple lived in Kentucky and had three children.
Hold up. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Shatner
Yes.
married Cox.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness. The jokes write themselves.
So he had three kids,
Okay.
and she filed for divorce in December 2019, which is around when this happened.
Okay.
Okay. In 1999, Shatner was accused of stalking and groping a woman.
Oh.
And then he claimed that the woman was trying to extort him for $5 million. It
What?
doesn't end there. In 2009, Shatner was accused of sexual misconduct involving a 24-year-old female marketing employee. Why have I not heard of these?
Dude, this dude is horny and racist.
What a combination. What a
He
combination.
makes the average pizza maker.
I want his children. Where's his children?
I want his
I want his kids. I need to know what his kids are called.
You could just have a kid with him. I mean,
What?
what's stopping you, really? Just try and extort him for $5 million, or the second option is to have kids with him.
Okay, so he's 5'10". He's
Okay.
only 5'10". That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm taller than Papa John's. All right.
He's worth $1 billion. Damn. All right, so he has three kids. Two of them are girls and one's a dude. We're gonna play a fun game.
All right.
Which one do you think is his son?
All right. Hit me with the names.
Christine Shatner, Bo Shatner, and Danielle Shatner.
Christine.
You think Christine is the son?
Yep.
I'm sorry. You're wrong. It's Bo.
Well, that was gonna be my first guess because I know Bo Burnham, the comedian.
It's spelled Beau.
Yeah, I've heard that one. But I thought it was gonna be like a real curveball of a
That's
name.
fair. That's fair. So, the only reason I know that he has a son was because he had a few years ago he had a commercial where he had his son order pizza.
Oh, I remember that.
Right. So I only thought he had the one son. So here's the real question: Is he son? Is he son? Wait, is he pizza? Oh, hold on. Is he son John? Well, is son Bo? Like what? If his dad's Papa John,
Okay.
what would that make him?
Son John.
Son John. My man's a priest. My man's a pizza
Son John
priest.
or Son Bo.
Probably son Bo because it's his name.
Yeah, that makes
For
sense.
some reason, I was just thinking Sun Pizza, but it's obviously not Papa Pizza.
Yeah, I didn't know where you pulled that from, but
I'd fuck my ass, bro.
I mean,
Just like
Tom Brady might.
he pulled the N-word out of his vocabulary for the past 20 months. He's been trying. Just really stuck in there.
I mean, you're gonna have to pull Tom Brady off of you. we're looping back into this. All right, that video is scary. In all honesty, have you seen the Tom Brady video?
Oh, dude, he's always kissed his son.
Yeah, I know, but have you seen the video that like really put it into the public view?
No, I didn't.
Sorry, first he is half nude already.
Oh wait, is it where he's getting like massaged?
Yeah, he's.
I have seen that video.
He is half nude, getting massaged on a table.
And then his son kisses him. He's like, "That's just a peck."
No.
And
It gets better because there's just this dude just like massaging him, right? And then his son like opens up the door and like peeks around the corner. Like he doesn't even like walk straight in at first. He just like kind of peeks in. And then he like asks about something, and then he's Tom Brady's like, yeah, whatever, you can do your thing. And then the kid starts to go, and he's like, hold on, where do you think you're going? And then the kid comes back, and he kisses him on the lips. Which, first of all, like if you're just like kissing, it's not that big of a deal if a dad kisses their kid. All right, let's make that clarification.
I think it's important to note where he kisses his kid.
That is also very important, and at what age? Like if it is a father kissing the toddler, and it's like, okay, it's literally a baby, you know,
Bro.
it's his baby boy. But this is like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old boy. All right?
I think
square on the lips, okay, and then the son starts to walk away. He's like, what was that?
that was just a little peck. Come back.
And he comes back full tongue.
Oh my God, he Frenches his dad.
I mean, not really, but still, it is like intense.
You know
That
how
is a
this situation
real
could get worse?
smooch. Yeah?
3 ways.
Okay.
Actually, 4 ways.
The masseuse gets involved.
A 3-way kiss.
The masseuse kisses Tom Brady.
First
and
off,
Tom Brady's son.
Does Tom Brady have a daughter?
I don't know. I don't think.
All right, time to look it up.
I don't think he does.
Children. If he had a daughter, he has. Yeah, he does.
Oh, he does.
Wait. I'm only seeing. Wait a minute. No, that's his sisters. That's his siblings. Never mind.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't.
I don't think so. He has
I
a
think
daughter.
What?
He has a daughter.
Okay.
Okay, so here's how that situation goes worse.
Mm-hmm.
He kisses his daughter on the lips too.
I don't
That-
even think. I think like those should be equally bad. You know.
I know, but I think that could be taken wrongly.
That's true.
Secondly, this kid, all right, it could be so much worse if he had like. This is gonna sound really weird and gross,
Mm-hmm.
but this is a real thing to think about.
All right.
What if he grows up gay with a daddy kink? Because of this.
Like, it's not like in I can't remember the Greek thing, epidis or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Epidus or something. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I don't know. Yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, yikes.
Right, because he fucks his mom and kills his dad.
Yeah.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
Also,
Oedipus.
is a freak.
Oedipus.
Oedipus, that's what. Freud is a freak. Can we just like talk about that for like half a second, real quick? Just slip
Yeah.
this in. Sigmund Freud was an absolute freak, a mongrel of a human being. That
Well, he
dude
was on
woke
coke.
up- Yeah, he woke up every morning and just spewed garbage, and psychologists all around were like, yeah, okay, this guy's, you know what, he's getting there, he's saying some interesting things, you know, he's really making some progress in the field, and that's because everybody knew nothing. They just didn't know what to do.
Well, that's
about
what psychology is. Psychology is nothing. Like, you kind of have to...
It's a goofy science, I'll be
Right.
real.
So
Like,
you kind of have to take every perspective. Even if
you're,
he's
like,
cocked out.
Going into like the
coked.
chemical like brain and how the like how your brain works and stuff like that, like that's like interesting. But then you get to the stuff where like Freud was like, yeah, before anyone can form memories, all guys want to be with their moms and all girls want to be with their dads. And it's like, how do you, where are you getting this from? These are literal babies. They can't
Crack
even form
dream.
memories, and you're saying these things.
Crack
Like,
dreams.
You are literally insane, dude. And people just like took that and they're like, yeah, we're gonna put this in textbooks in 100
Okay,
years.
Ethan. All right, here's how we show him this.
Uh-huh.
We just take a snapshot of Vivian Lake Brady kissing Tom Brady. We take a picture of it. We go back in time, show him the picture, and that's why he started it, because of us.
That's it.
We are the reason Freud exists. And it's all because of Tom Brady kissing his daughter.
Tom Brady created the freak known as Sigmund Freud.
I think Tom Brady creates Sigmund Freud is a great book title.
It's like a 5,000-page thesis on like time dilation.
We get stuck in the wrong time, so we have to like travel through time again.
Theory. It's not even like a fictional story. It is a very like academic thesis paper.
We go too far back and leave a picture of Tom Brady in the past with the dinosaurs, and then we come back to the present and everyone's kissing their sons and daughters on the lips.
Everyone is.
We're like, we gotta go back. So, I think it's important to note that his son is probably gonna get a little fucked up with this, and depending on how old he is, and how long he's kissing his dad, it could come out really, really weird. Like, imagine your dad picks you up from, like, the football game, your school's football game, and, like, you're walking back with a bunch of friends.
His son is 13 years old right now. This is not a child. This is a teenager.
You know the feel of your dad's beard. You walk up to your dad and say, "Hey, Dad." And you just fucking French him right there in front of your friends, feeling the bristles of his beard on your face.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
This is a 7th grader kissing his father on the lips.
Damn. I wish my dad did more of that.
Passionately.
At least I know he'd show me affection.
If only then.
See, he's overcompensating for all the kids who didn't have dads.
But is he though?
Yes, because every time he kisses his son on the lips with passionate love, and he gets a small little boner, he's doing this for all the kids who didn't have dads.
Full mast.
Tom Brady is everyone's dad.
And he shows it through kissing his son on the lips.
Yes.
Okay.
What if he didn't kiss his daughter on the lips? He was like,
what if he was just disgusted by his daughter? He just never looked at her. At family dinners, just ignores what she says and stuff like that. She tries to ask him for help on homework, and he just pushes her away.
Yeah, just shoves her to the ground. Gross.
It's like, what did I tell you? I'm busy. And then he goes French kissing his son.
I've never seen you hold a football in your life. Do you know Tom Brady will not have sex for 3 months before a Super Bowl?
What?
He refuses. He wants... This is what I've heard, at least. He refuses to have sex so that his mind is only on football.
What? This man is an enigma. He is...
Wait, whoa. Calm down with that word. You might be John Shatner trying to get that out of your vocabulary in 20 months. Calm down. But no, it's crazy.
Please.
But here's the thing. Tom Brady's like a god at football. So obviously it's working.
Yeah, he's getting later in his age, and he's still kicking.
Really, he's 40, which is I think he's normally this is when you would retire. And he's won 7 Super Bowls?
I think he drinks an ungodly amount of water too.
He drinks his own semen. Because semen is a type of milk, Ethan.
He drinks 14 to 37 glasses of water every day.
No fucking way. No, where'd you look this up?
I literally just Googled how much water does Tom Brady drink. The first thing, athlete's secret for peak performance. Tom Brady announced in his new book, The TB12 Method, that he drinks 14 to 37 glasses of water every day. Isn't it recommended 8?
No, it's been changed to whatever your body mass is, but he's drinking 2.3 gallons of water a day with 37 cups.
That is dangerous.
Yeah, you could drown, but I guess it depends on what you do. I think that's important to note. He's a high octane athlete.
I guess that's one way of looking at it.
Listen,
Who's the? I just got in one of the related searches. Who's the most hydrated man in the world?
who is it?
It immediately responds with, Brady reportedly drinks over 37 glasses of water per day, enough to hydrate a healthy person for 5 days. What?
My man. He is
My man.
hydrated. Speaking of food, do you know The Rock eats about 10,000 calories a day?
That is a lot.
He eats... Oh, I thought it was more than that. He only eats 5,000 calories a day.
Oh, okay. Well, recommended for like a male is like 2,500, I think.
The calories spread over 7 meals.
Oh.
He's eating 7 meals a day.
Okay.
Include roughly 2.3 pounds of cod.
What?
I have to... Hold on. I have to continue with this article. Okay.
Man's like fish.
2.3 pounds of cod. Eggs, steak, chicken, vegetables, and potatoes. About 10 pounds of food a day.
Oh my goodness, dude, he be shitting. I'll be
The-
real.
The Rock consumes
He'd be
more
pissing.
than
He'd
one
make
third
piss.
of a... Ethan.
Yeah.
The Rock consumes more than 1/3 of a ton of cod alone. In 1 year.
Oh my goodness.
He's eaten about 600 pounds of cod in a year.
This man is literally keeping the fishing industry alive
He's-
single-handedly.
He spends about $18 worth of
How much
cod every day.
how much does Tom Brady piss if he's drinking 37 glasses of water?
Dog, his balls must be huge.
Dude, I drink cuz I'm running track, right? And so I'll drink
Mhm.
like 2 water bottles a day before practice.
I drink 4 water bottles.
And well, I'm talking
Probably more.
not like small plastic ones, like a
Like big boys.
yeah, the big ones that you like can refill.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, and I drink 2 of those. And then I'm just pissing like 5 times, you know?
Dog, his
How-
piss, you know how like your piss becomes more and more clear?
Dude, it is clear. It is invisible. He can just drink it.
Bro,
It
he
is
can see the
pure
future.
water.
Through his piss, he can
is
see how
so
he wins the next
clear.
Super Bowl.
That's how he keeps doing it. That's how he keeps winning. He looks into the future through his piss.
Apparently, The Rock hasn't eaten candy since 1989.
That is such a funny statistic. No, that totally reminds me. I have a friend, the guy I work out with.
Mhm.
Dude has not drinking soda in years, okay? He drinks like exclusively water and tea. And whether that's like brewed tea or pre-made tea. But like that's all he drinks. And that's really healthy, right? Like you hear that and you're like, "Oh, like he's really like looking out what he's like taking into his body and like planning his meals."
Yeah.
This dude will eat 10 dinosaur chicken nuggets for breakfast. He will eat nothing but Reese's cups for lunch.
Some people just have really fast metabolisms. I'm not one of those people, and I eat fine. I actually only
he-
live my...
No, the most cursed thing. He does
Mhm.
not like jelly. So he will eat plain peanut butter sandwiches.
Oh, that's terrible.
And when he's at home, he makes what he calls peanut butter slices, which is just a single piece of bread, not toast. Just bread, plain wheat bread, whole wheat bread. He doesn't eat white bread. He eats whole wheat bread.
Ethan.
A single slice with one side on peanut butter, and that's what he
Ethan.
eats. Yeah.
I have a rock fact for you again.
Oh, yeah.
He eats 10 egg omelets
10 egg omelets.
before bed.
Before bed. That's his bedtime snack.
He eats 2 eggs in the morning to go with his fish, and then a 10 egg omelet before bed. My man eats a dozen eggs a day.
Oh my goodness. This dude can single-handedly keep a farm alive.
Oh my god. Oh, and then thank you, Cora, for how many calories are there in an average rock?
How many?
Uh, it's not saying any. It actually is giving a bunch of. Oh, obviously, it's 6 times 10 to the 7th kilocalories, which is a normal calorie for us Americans.
Okay.
So 60 million.
Oh, that's a few.
In a rock.
So if I eat one rock, I can survive for like days on ends.
4.5 days.
Nice.
Because, as a side note, though, human needs about 19,000 kilocalories per day. This amount in chemical form could feed the world for about 4.5 days. So, a rock of a centimeter in volume.
Could feed the world.
World for 4.5 days.
How much could it feed me alone?
Well, divide that by 7.8 billion.
Yeah, 4.5 times 7.5 billion.
A rock. If we split a rock up equally, it could save world hunger for 5 days. You know what we have to do? We have to poison the cod, and then split it up.
Of course, of course.
Because the only way to kill the rock
I could survive for 18 billion days. How many
Dog.
is 18 billion days?
in years, divide that by 365. That is about a million years.
It's about 49,000 years.
Whoa, dude, you would imagine how wrinkly you'd be.
I'd be that little fish from SpongeBob when he's selling the chocolates.
Chocolates.
What do they say? What are they selling? Chocolates. I remember when they first invented chocolates. Sweet, sweet chocolates.
Okay, Ethan, I think a good way to end the episode
Uh-huh.
is for me to tell you
Okay.
The Rock's daily food plan for when he was preparing for the 2014 Hercules. Okay?
I think this is going to be terrifying.
He ate 7 large meals every day for 6 months. 6 months. He did this for 6 months.
Right.
It comes out to about 5,470 calories. Okay. Meal 1, 857 calories. A 10-ounce filet, 4 egg whites, and 5 ounces of cream of wheat.
Just cream of wheat.
Oatmeal or cream of wheat. Okay.
Okay.
Meal 2, 947 calories. An 8-ounce chicken, 2 cups of white rice, and 1 cup of broccoli. Okay. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Meal 3, 946 calories. A 8-ounce halibut, 2 cups of white rice, and 1 cup of asparagus.
All right. It's not too terribly out there.
He still has double his meals left. This is 3 meals.
That's true.
This is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My man still has dinner. Okay, meal 4, 773 calories. 8-ounce chicken, 12-ounce baked potato, and 1 cup of broccoli.
That is a lot of potato.
That's not even the end of potato.
Oh, man.
Meal 5, 816. 8 ounces of halibut, 1.5 cups of rice, and 1 cup of asparagus. Meal 6, 846. 8-ounce filet with a 9-ounce baked potato and a salad, because the salad's helping.
Oh, yeah, the salad is really what's filling them up, you know.
And meal 7, 285 calories, the lowest calorie amount of them all, is a 30 grams of Cosian protein. And his classic 10 egg whites with onions, peppers, and mushrooms.
Oh, the classic.
Now, he's eating 14 eggs a day. Okay. He would eat 5.5 cups of white rice a day, 2 cups of broccoli, 2 cups of asparagus, 21 ounces of baked potato.
Like, potato is fantastic. Baked, mashed, it doesn't matter.
24 ounces, actually.
That's too many potatoes.
26 ounces of fish and 16 ounces of chicken. And a salad.
The salad is really what That's the.
I think that's what tipped him
That's the
over.
heavyweight in these calorie counts, really.
And that's what he would eat for 6 days. For 7 days a week, 6 months.
6 months.
Ethan, he had to eat. Hold on. So
I mean,
let's just say
Too bad
that's,
he's not as strong as me, though. I mean,
that's
let's be
180
real.
days times 70.
I mean, honestly, The Rock is just like nothing compared to me,
That's very true, Ethan. So he
He's
was
The
eating this
Rock,
about
I'm the
180
boulder.
days. Imagine eating the same thing every day for like 6 months, too.
Dude, it just sounds awful.
Takes dedication. You ever see the video of the guy like who just finished a workout and he's like smoking?
I think so.
Like he's wearing this big ass blue shirt, and he's like, steam is just coming off of him.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
He's like, I just finished a hard workout. That was the hardest one I've ever done.
Oh, yeah, I've seen yeah.
And the worst thing is, I could totally take him in a fight.
Yeah, honestly, these dudes are just like pebbles compared to us.
Yeah. I
See,
mean,
we live in an underground bunker, right? And the problem with that is because we've been just genetically engineered for our entire lives and given strict meal plans and workout routines, we're not really allowed to see the sunlight. Like, I don't really remember what the sun looks like. And that's just like in an effort to like keep a secret from society, because if we just like started rolling up on the block, like we'd be just honestly probably go into a bloodlust rage and just destroy towns until
do you know
Coast Guard was
Dwayne The
called.
Rock Johnson is going to have a TV show called Young Rock?
Oh, why?
I don't know, but apparently it starts with him getting interviewed right after he became the president.
What?
So he might
does
be
that
running
mean?
for president.
Dude, he would win too. That's the worst part.
I think he'd probably be a fine president. He seems like a people person.
Oh, and still he starts bombing the Middle East again.
Yeah. He was
Do you think
apparently
we'll ever stop bombing the Middle East?
No, I think we just have like a TNT generator above it.
Right. We got one of those TNT cannons.
Yeah. I think it was
Little bit of red
Mumbo
stuff.
Jumbo who made like a nuke plane for us.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got to take a while as the frames, load in. Actually, did you know every single one of those like 1 million TNT without lag videos are actually filmed in Iraq?
Honestly, I'm not. Oh, man.
You know what? I think this episode's been going on for a while.
I think, yeah, this has been
This
a
is the longest
myriad
episode.
of-
Look, a lot has happened this episode. We went from David Dobrik to peeing on kids to Tom Brady
to
to
how
The
much
Rock
Tom Brady can piss and kiss at the same time.
and The Rock eating habits. Good episode. Well, Ethan, you started. You did the intro. Did you want to do the outro as well today?
I'll give it a shot, yeah.
Okay.
Well, everybody, that concludes another episode of the Dudes Club podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, why don't you just leave a like, maybe a comment, and, a subscribe. Never hurts either. Once again, I've been Ethan, joined by Brian, and just want to say we love you. So have a good one. All right. Bye-bye.
See you guys.